Okay, so we are live, people.
All right.
Nobody in here right now. I'll see the viewer count. I don't know if you guys see viewer count.
I see the live thing on yours.
We're gonna go grab a laptop. I'll be right back.
Let's try this.
I just got an alert. Is that you?
Yeah, it probably is.
Yep.
Let's see here. Got a song stuff.
Okay.
Printing. Go.
So can you tell how many people are in?
I can. Right now, there's one person watching, but that could be me. It could be you. It could be
I
anyone.
was going to say, because I can't tell anything. Doesn't tell us.
Oh, that stinks. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So I just posted it on there. And
All right.
I usually give it like, oh, you guys have seen it. I usually give like 10, 15 minutes before anything happens. So, yeah. So right now, just one viewer right now.
Yeah, sir.
This is announcements.
Trying to log into this so I can read the chat.
Resin. Let's get it in there. We'll put it in all the noob groups. Why not?
Yeah, sure.
This
Okay. Announcements.
Any of you guys have a laptop where, like, I don't know, the touchpad gives you like 5 millimeters of right click and 98 millimeters?
Yes.
Yep. Most of them.
I hate my work laptop because I have my like touchpad here, and then there is the two buttons, the left and right click right below it,
Yeah.
and then there's a soft pad in the center of like B and G or whatever it is, and I always end up hitting one of those.
Nice.
Cursor will be like, "Hey, would you like to select this?"
I'm too like heavy-handed. I can't do those touchpads that are click. I click all the time on accident.
Just mash it.
Yeah, I have to turn that off where I click on everything.
Yep.
Dragging windows all over the place.
Yeah. I turn mine off and use a mouse too. It's easier.
Yeah.
Especially the ThinkPad's got that little red thing in the middle of the keypad there.
Yep. Yeah.
I think it's brutal.
Eraser head or whatever.
Yeah, I won't say the nickname, but yeah, the red one.
Yep, I like those. Those are my favorite, actually. But if they're only some of them are terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's so weird. The YouTube link is a couple seconds behind, but not much. I wonder how much the Facebook one is.
Yeah.
We streaming the both.
I'm doing it through StreamYard, so it's not like a direct.
Right.
We could have just done it through Facebook.
Like they compiled it up and send it on to the others. Oh, see, I'm looking at the bottom thing instead of the top.
So right now it looks like there's 2 people online.
So where the comments will show up?
So they'll show up on the right-hand side there.
As soon as somebody types them.
Yeah.
Come on, somebody watching, type something.
Here,
Let's see.
I think any one of us can type stuff.
Should show up in a minute. I just
add a public comment.
Yeah, that way I don't have to use that little phone chat thing. I feel like I'm so small. Is that better?
Something. There. So somebody type something. So you got to go down.
Dude, I see JQ Hartle type something.
I can't see a thing for typing.
Set an example. Hold on. What are we doing?
Mine's on the right side. So what's that?
Yeah, I'm on live comments, but I'm not seeing them.
Huh.
Serious? This is not going to work?
Gotta need this. It's gonna kill me.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
It should pop in.
Oh, wait. No, it's not. It hasn't been 20 minutes.
There's something going on here.
Look, it's going to be the last few turns.
Oh, Shrinkage. We got 7 people now.
After this one, we can play with it.
Oh God, you broke it.
Yeah.
You broke it.
Sorry about that. Had a VR argument.
Ah,
Oh, all right.
They both want to
I
play
can
VR.
see chat now.
wow, that took a while to come in here.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
hope
those are all
laggy.
Joseph. Those are all the real games in there, right? Those aren't just like shells or whatever.
No, they're real.
Yeah.
The Gallagher's got a 60-in-1 in it, and the
Nice.
Street Fighter, of course, has the pie mod.
Right.
But the other one's a stock.
Nice. Yeah, Rampage is one of my favorites, man.
Oh, I love it. We have so much fun with that one.
But there's somebody, get 3 people together. It's just smash.
It's a blast. Well, my wife and I will get on it, and then Winter, the kid will get on like in the middle because But
Because they come in and out. Yeah, they get bored.
yeah, it's fun. Love it.
Totally.
Gauntlet's a good time too.
Oh yeah, Gauntlet is a great one. Wizard needs food bad way.
Exactly.
So it looks like StreamYard is quite a bit behind.
So what's the 807 mean? Is that just typing something?
I was typing the time as
okay.
when I did it to see how much of a lag it was, but apparently it's within a minute.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have a place to
it's
type,
about
John?
10 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, I can read them, but I just can't type.
You can type in the comments.
Yeah.
That's weird.
What's this? Extensions.
Oh, here you can always go to the actual stream and type in there. I guess that's kind of dumb that it doesn't allow you.
Yeah. Worst case, I'll open on my phone.
Yeah, here I'll put the link to the YouTube in the private chat. Bring out your dead. We have 6 people watching right now. Yeah, so we'll hit this off in about at 8:15, I guess.
Okay.
I don't think we'll be on here for no more than an hour. I don't want to keep you guys up and doing crazy stuff. So,
No, it's the first one.
wow, that's actually really, really detailed. I'm surprised it did that.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to download something right now that I've been looking for a while.
Oh, it's your fault. It's slow.
Yep. All right.
All right. That's.
What if it's all left?
Yeah, I need to go to the barber, as you guys can see.
That was the first thing I did. Like the first day it opened up, I was like, I'm going. There's one literally I can walk right across the street, and I'm like, I've never been there. I know they just like redid everything, so I went there.
Yeah, I really need to.
Looks good. Looks good. All right, let's see. Okay.
I'll be back in a second.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it's nice. I don't know if I think it's worth as much as they charge for the little spot, but it's a nice printer. It's very consistent. And I don't know. I don't want to say anything too bad about it. It's all right.
Somebody asking about your wool spot.
Yeah, they saw it in the background, so they asked.
How about some of those printers? I see Akumaman says an SLA printer there, and John has a Delta. Yeah, I actually have quite a few resin printers behind
Just
me.
a couple, right?
Are just out of view. So this actually, so when I first started this year, it was actually a little bit before this year. I originally had 15 FDM printers, to which I slowly sold and moved into resin printing. The reason behind that is because what I deal with and where I've met John and Joseph, who will be back whenever, we all kind of met up in the retro gaming community with Raspberry Pis. And what I deal with is a lot of handheld gaming systems and things that require more detail than what an FDM printer can provide in terms of a print. Case in point, dice that you can actually read the numbers clearly and have no lines on it and everything. Or an Eiffel Tower that prints insanely crazy detail. So that's one thing that I required, and something I was always looking for when I actually got into printing in general. And at the time when I did start printing, that was a couple years ago now, almost 2.5 years ago, I want to say. There wasn't really anything in a good budget to do that. They didn't have resin printers like this that you could just buy anywhere. So thankfully, now that these were more available and more are becoming available, I kind of sold all those 15 FDM printers. I kept one because it's a FDM, CNC, and a laser machine as well. That's the only FDM printer that I actually keep around here just to have as a multi-printer, doer, whatever.
Yep.
And then I switched to, at the time, it was 18 resin printers, which was a little bit insane. But most of them were just to like test out here and there, say, hey, this is what I like about it, this is what I don't, and then send it back to the manufacturer. And most of them did go back to the manufacturer because they were a disaster.
Gotcha.
The Tronc C Ultravot, really cool looking printer, not very good. Had some terrible Z height lifting issues. It was just bad.
If it's out there, it had it basically.
Yeah, it was a disaster. So
Right.
It should have never ever came to fruition. So now I've kind of toned it down. I've sold a couple of them here and there. Got rid of some of them, sent them back to the factory, whatever, packing. And I've kept about 9 of them. This actually being number 10 and possibly number 11 and number 12 might be on their way, but I have to check with the manufacturers. So let's see here. Oh, Tyler West, what's up, man? Can't go wrong with a big ass Delta. Yeah. Like I was telling John, most of the people I know that have Deltas, either they're not printing or they don't have them anymore because they're not very good. But apparently, I guess any cubic one prints very well. So let's see here.
All right.
Do resin prints paint well? As far as I know, they do. Where is my buttons? So here's some buttons that were printed just in black. And these are painted. Just standard Rust-Oleum spray paint. No clear coat or anything on them. Super Famicom colors. There you go.
They look great.
So, and these were printed standing straight up. So they kind of have like a ringing effect on it. Like I was kind of telling you, Joseph, about, printing stuff face flat on the surface.
Yep.
That's kind of what happened. So instead of it printing like a nice, I guess, kind of smooth surface, it has a ringing effect on it. So that's about the only thing that you see. It's not the end of the world. If you have a thick paint or if you even want to sand it down, you can get rid of that pretty easily. So
Nice.
or you can angle it and you won't have to worry about it ever. But angling it changes aspect ratios and things like that. And
Yeah, there's a lot to that, huh?
that's
No wonder.
there's a lot of goods and a lot of bads.
There's a lot.
in both FDM and resin, but
I know. I'm going through the humidity now.
yeah, when it comes to it, for what I need specifically is a more finished detail print in the end. So that's why I switched all the resin printers. So
I'm just looking at the comments.
yeah, so am I.
Friends that really want figurines, yes.
Yeah, so a lot of people do some things like that for resin printing. One of the big downfalls of resin printing is your build plate is very, very small. Let me see if I got an extra one around here. That's great. Take it off one of the little monsters, the hyena. So here's your typical build plate for a resin printer. Not very big. This is my hand.
Wow.
My hand. Well, not the palm, but it fits. That's your printing capabilities. For pretty much anything under, I don't know, $600. I mean, you can even go higher. Prusa printers are, I think they're like $1,200, and you pretty much got the same build plate.
Of course they are.
Yeah, but with that, each and every one, as you go into a higher price bracket, kind of has extra added on features or has a different type of build plate. You know, it's all kinds of different things. Same thing with FDM printers.
Oh, it's a million things.
Yeah, exactly. Like everything is the same. So. What's up, Mr. Bertram? Unless you get a Phenom. Yeah, I don't have like $2,000 to spend right off the bat for a printer, even though I do have well over like $9,000 worth of printers in total.
Yeah, but dropping 2 on one printer.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a lot of money, and to fix it is even more money if you do break something. And the other problem is I see a lot of issues with those big printers. Really, really cool to have. Don't get me wrong, because you can print a lot of big stuff with it. But when something goes wrong, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, did you see the Photon Zero build plate yet?
The Photon Zero?
Compared to a credit card.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't seen. I didn't get a chance to
That's
see
tiny.
one yet. Let me rephrase that. I was supposed to get one of those. I never got a chance to. And then when I went over to Tim's, he has a couple of those, and I was like, "Really? Is it that small? I didn't think it was that small." And yeah, so if you're wanting to get into resin printing, the Photon Zero is a really good printer. It's really, really, really
no ball joint.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one thing that I do like about that. I personally am not a big fan of the ball joint. So, hey.
Same here.
So it take you a month to print a chess set.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But at least here's the thing: you won't have to do any like post processing or anything like that.
Perfect.
Pretty much, you take it off the build plate, you clean it with the wash.
Yeah.
It's good to go. It's the same like this, or here even crazier. One of the things that I like is about resin printing is that it like when you do sharp objects, it comes out super high detail. So here's a hedgehog, and this thing is like,
Oh, I could never print that.
So this one I printed flat on the plate, so you can see like this head is supposed to be raised up, so there's extra excess resin that dried on that. So we raised it up and printed it like this, and as you can see, that's how the nose is supposed to be. So that's a much better print.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. So I mean, if you have an FDM printer to do that, yeah, you could probably do it, but you have to be really finely.
Oh, it'd be so tuned.
Yeah.
No.
So, I mean, some printers can do that pretty well right off the bat, but it's you're spending some money on it. So
I noticed.
Yeah.
And if you're get your settings right, you can do build plate.
That's funny. I don't know if you can see right off of my screenshot here, this little green thing that's hanging.
Barely.
Is that the same guy?
It's the same guy from the Nova.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I have some of those printed too.
Yeah.
A
So
little bigger, but
that's my funnest prints is like the articulated stuff. I love doing those.
That's me too.
the Flexies
Yeah, exactly. The Flexi Rexy was like my first
Yep.
one, and I just fell in love
and the
with it.
Raptor.
I printed a
Raptor's
bunch of
cool.
them. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I got
Raptor I
one.
haven't done, but I want to do
Oh,
that.
that one's nice.
Yeah,
Blow it up.
I need to-
Upscale it.
Where I used to have like a handful of them around here, the little Flexi Rexies.
My
And
family steals them.
I had
Yeah.
to do a comparison between like build plates. So like if it was like a regular Creality Ender 3 mat, like the stock one that it comes with, comparing to like a glass bed, and like the
Oh, yeah.
one had like a really, really shiny back end to it. It was really cool looking. But I think my son might have stole that. So
Yeah, no.
up here.
They always do.
I
Yeah.
told you, my family steals everything I print. Anything
Yeah.
that's really cool, I'll take a picture of it. It's gone.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like
Yeah.
I don't, and you know, somebody asked me the other day, they're like, "How many prints do you have just like lying around?" I'm like, "Well, I have that one,
Yeah, exactly.
and I have some prints lying around, but as soon as I'm done with, you know, what I need to do with them, they're going out to a customer. So really, I have like maybe 2 or 3 prints total around here that I actually like keep by me. So that's pretty much it. Oh God,
Yep, we lost Matt.
am I still here?
You went
Nope.
in crack.
You're here, but you have no face.
Still here.
No video.
Actually, it's perfect.
Looks so much better now.
Yeah. Oh.
Nope, sorry, not letting you off. Oh no! Maybe you are getting let off that easy.
All right. What do we got going on over here?
What do we usually say? It's not a live stream until something's broken. And
That's it.
Exactly. Now you know we're not faking it.
Yep.
At least I can see comments now. I'm happy. I switched browsers. It works fine.
There you go.
Then you see there's a question for you, Joseph.
Let's see which one.
Does the
Lexi's,
bottom
yeah.
of Joseph's shirt say G28X0Y?
Yes. All right. Hold on. No
That's
place
funny.
like home. My TH sweetie, 3D swag.
That's what I'm repping too, because
Yeah.
I'm a loser.
It's a free T-shirt, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna do. Thanks, Tim.
I don't even know if he's going to pop in here or not.
Ah,
Let me know if you end up needing a mod on the stream. Sound good. Okay. Well,
what are you working on next, Matt? What's the next project?
so project is actually going to be some YouTube videos. I actually don't have many like prints, customer prints going on, because as of right now, I need to go out and buy some different resin to do color mixing. So that's some more like YouTube content I'm gonna try and do.
Yeah.
And then I have a video that I'm gonna put up wherever I put them. Oh, here they are. So these will be next on my my list for checking out and seeing how well these actually work, because I know it's a hot topic. Like I said, I'm more into the resin printing now than I am FDM. So again, that's why I created another group specifically for that, because I'll probably be more catered to that out of anything. But I still lurk around the FDM side. I still know a good amount.
The 3 groups together make quite a team.
Yeah, exactly.
Painting, resin, and printing.
So that's next on my list, and then pretty much some a handful of some YouTube videos about some of the printers here and the wash station and whatnot. So that's more or less what I got on hand out of anything. You doing anything exciting on the?
Way too humid. Way too humid. My printer doesn't want to hear it.
No.
Stringing away. I need that food dehydrator. Exactly. I have one on the way from Amazon.
Well, you know, I do have a filament dehydrator.
Yeah, you can keep that. I'm sure it's awesome.
Well,
But
we'll see.
Not my place to rag on it. But
Exactly. I'll be the judge of that.
Can you cook beef jerky in it?
So we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, they sent that to me to test out and see how it goes. So I'll be honest, I'm not really expecting much out of it. But hey, it'd be nice to, you know, maybe get something from it. Yeah, I don't know.
you won't, but it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
What else we got going on in here?
Let's see here. I'm just reading the comments now because I've been yakking.
Oh, links to the T-shirt. Nice.
Mr. Bertram, I'm not too far from Rockford. Wait a minute, Bertram, you're up in Rockford? I didn't know that.
I think you said he was going there. I don't know if he's from there.
Oh, yeah, my sister lives up there in Belvedere. Oh, yeah, I was born in Belvedere. Oh, well, there you go. So you're from there. So you're gonna be passing through my part of town. I live about probably about 8 minutes to be exact from O'Hare Airport, and that's like straight shot east down there. So I'm not that far away.
Yep.
Links to shirts. Yeah, I could put up some links here. Let's see if I got those.
Tim will appreciate it.
Oh yeah. I don't even, you know, what's funny is
I don't know if he cares.
so if for any of you guys watching, I personally have worked for TH3D Studio for a couple months last year. And so I used to work close with Tim and everything. So I got, you know, some snazzy t-shirts and some hoodies at Tim's expense. And, you know, I probably should be like an affiliate link user or anything, but I'm not. I'm in Indiana, 2 hours south of Tim. Oh, okay. So you're a little bit further down there. Gotcha. All right. Let's see if we can find these t-shirts. T-shirt. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Wow, this is all new. I haven't been on.
Yeah, I have not seen any metal filled dragon resin. That sounds interesting, though.
Say what?
There's a comment. Anyone seen used metal filled dragon resin? I've heard of it. Is there a company called Dragon Resin?
Yeah, I know. I've heard of Dragon Resin, but
Yeah,
I have never heard of metal filled. So one of the issues that is a posing problem with resin and additives is you will kill your screens and kill everything that has to do with your printers. And so like John, I think you used some of that it's kind of like spices, like powder spices. Powder, right?
Mica powder, yeah.
Yeah. So I know Steve from Renegade Labs, he used some glitter powder, I guess, on his machines, and let's just say his machines are all out of commission now.
Nice.
Oh, to destroy the screens?
Yeah, so not only did it destroy the screen, it destroyed the FEP, it destroyed the screen and leaked all over, and it was just a mess.
So he had to be mad.
Yeah, so he has I think 3 Elegum Rs and an Anycubic Photon. The Photon is courtesy of me.
Yeah,
I got him into that. Yeah, so now I think all of but one is in working condition.
Nice.
Hurts.
So there we go. Merch. There we go.
Let's see.
Paste. Enter.
How we doing for account?
How does it destroy the screens? Hashtag curious. Yeah, so I just FYI for you guys, I have my my YouTube up so I can see comments way before you guys probably can if you are. So what destroys screens before? So what destroys it is just the fact that the consistency of it makes it I guess more dense would be the word to use for that. So basically,
Yeah, maybe the edges of the glitter are sharp too. I'm not
yeah.
sure.
So I mean, just think of it. Think of a car. You know, obviously, when you add metal into oil, it's not a good combination. Now,
Yeah,
obviously,
not too much.
that's moving parts at a faster speed, but still, I mean, the premises is still the same. So in terms of that's about the best way that I can.
Yeah, maybe a visual. So when it does a layer, like this would be your LCD screen, it goes down, and so if the glitter's there, it will press into it.
Yeah.
I mean, the particles will press down.
Yeah, so it's all bending around and everything. Gotcha.
Oh, hey, hey, what's up, Jerry? You know, I was just talking to Joseph right before the live stream. I was showing him my reptile print that you did for me in resin. And
Yeah, that was beautiful.
so Jerry is 3D printing and painting. That's Jerry Knapp. You guys might have seen him around here and there.
That was good work, Jerry.
If you're like interested in the painting thing, that's someone you want to talk to because he's he knows his stuff as far as I can tell. Definitely,
You're gonna get him in.
yeah, definitely very good. So. All right, let's see here. We got another person. What got you guys into 3D printing? Was there a specific moment for any of you that made you take the plunge?
Yes.
Here, why don't you start off, and then I'll go last. How about that?
All right. It was actually Matt's fault. He first started doing the giveaways. Was going to give away a birthday 3D printer, which of course I heard about. Not my birthday, so went out and bought one. Started from there. His fault ever since. Now I'm on my third or fourth.
Yep.
But this one's working. I'm keeping this. The end of threes were killing me.
Yeah. I agree 100% with that one.
Yeah.
You made
Crucial, perfect. Yeah. Damn K3S was great.
What about you, John? What got you into 3D printing?
Oh, that would be you again, man.
This is all your fault.
Yeah.
I'm
All our wives are mad at us.
I feel like a cult leader or something.
Yeah. Just kind of grabbed one and then kind of went crazy after that. And
Now he's the godfather. He's got 3 channels with us now.
Yeah,
exactly. Kickback from all these places, I think.
Yep. Yeah. So
Nice.
basically, how I started is that was kind of Steve, my buddy Steve from Renegade Labs. He got a 3D printer, and technically, I already had one. I got it for a giveaway, the one that Joseph was talking about. And I actually ended up buying a really, really, really cheap one without doing any research. And I was like, yeah, this is great. These things are super cheap. You could create whatever.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a what was it called? It was a Lunar M506, which some of you guys may or may not know. It's a ANET A6 knockoff.
Oof.
So it's not even a
Oof.
it's even worse.
Wow.
So
Knockoff of a knockoff of a.
exactly. So it was basically a fire hazard right out of the box, and I did not know that or anything. Not that it caught on fire or anything. I fixed that before anything of that nature could happen. But yeah, it was just a disaster. I had a terrible time. And here's my buddy Steve. We were doing a live stream like we're kind of doing now, and he built his in a live stream. He had an Ender 3. And I was like, dude, you're already printing. Like, here I am 3 live streams later, still trying to build this printer. It was 9.5 hours to build this. Because
the Mark IIIs are that long.
Yeah, you basically you build it piece by piece. So you learn everything about it, which in some ways is good, but if you're like me and just want to be printing, it's not a very good thing.
Yeah.
So that's basically where I got my start and everything. And then I met up with Tim after I got rid of that printer and got an Ender 3, which was a disaster of a printer. And why I have just bad blood with those printers in general. They never really liked me. And apparently they didn't like Joseph either. So he made a decision.
I made a good decision.
Yeah, you either? Yeah. No, I got to remember which way I'm pointing here.
That's
Yeah. Oops.
There we go. All right. Now it's north, south, east, left.
Right.
So, yeah, I had an Ender 3 that didn't really print that well, had some issues, and I was like, hey, I'll get an automatic bed leveling system. Oh, well, great. There's a place called T8's 3D Studio that's not too far from me. It's about a 40-minute drive. So I took a drive one day, and I met up with them, and I'm like, it was kind of weird because here it is him and his wife kind of, doing their stuff out of a studio apartment, or not a studio apartment, but like a condo. And I was expecting a business and everything, because I think of like a business when somebody's on Google Maps and everything. But here they were, and he was really cool and took me in, and I'm like, hey, you need any help, let me know. And I got some soldering skills here and there. I'll help you out. I love doing this stuff. I'm technical. So me and him got together, and then he took me down even a further rabbit hole, and that's what got me into this whole mess and everything.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
it. And 10 bed leveling systems later, right?
Yeah.
The easy ABLs.
Yeah, I pretty much had them on all my printers.
I've done 3.
Yeah.
They work well though.
Oh,
once
yeah.
you tune them.
Yeah.
The pro he came out with is nice.
Yeah. And so I worked for him for a little bit, I guess kind of behind the scenes. And then he got a little bit bigger, and then I came on board, and just the way that things were working, it just didn't work out at the time. So they were growing at such an exponential rate, and just all kinds of things were clashing together at that point in time. So we just kind of parted ways. We're still friends and everything. We talk. It's no bad blood or anything. We just kind of do things here and there. In fact, I was over there a week or two ago, about 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. So yeah. All right. Too many talk. Much talk.
More questions.
Yeah, we need more questions.
All right.
Let's see here.
That's wild. My Ender 3 hasn't given me any issues.
Yep.
You are very lucky.
Yeah.
You must have one of the latest ones.
Yes. So
because the earlier ones are terrible.
Yeah, that I definitely will contribute to that. The at that time, well, they don't really tell you what version you have until you look at the box, but I think
you and I had version 1 and then version 2.
Right, exactly.
Three's the pro.
Wait, because it just had a numerous problems. Like it just didn't print. So
version 3 is the pro.
Or should I say it printed like 1 or 2 prints, and then the next one it just wouldn't print at all.
You'd have to re-level it, everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was constantly messing with the things, and I'm like, I'm done with that. And then somebody got me a deal on a Prusa, used Prusa for $300, and that was awesome. Then I told Joseph about Prusa and how awesome it was, and I kind of became a fanboy for a little bit. And then I got rid of it, and then I was like, okay, moving on to resin. So
I still like mine. It's not going anywhere.
That's fine. And if I ever happen to buy another FDM printer, like actually purchase one and not,
that's the one to get.
I'd probably end up getting that, to be honest.
Not the mini.
Yeah, it's no,
no, not the mini.
I'm hearing terrible things about that. Like that.
It's a toilet.
That's their Ender 3.
Yeah, basically.
So that's all I see about that thing. It's just one disaster.
Yeah, really expensive Ender 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So let's see. Well, I say mine doesn't give me issues, but it's gonna sell many mods, upgraded parts. It's only an Ender 3 in the name now.
Oh,
that's
there you go.
Like,
that's why it works.
Yeah, exactly. So what the Prusa Mini isn't good. It's kind of like the Ender 3. It's hit or miss.
There's a lot of learning, a lot of fiddling.
Yeah, I hear
constantly new parts and updates coming out for it.
Yep. So I mean, it's just got some issues.
Not time.
One is like the extruder has a terrible problem where it just
doesn't
feed correctly.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I consistently see about is problems with the extruder. So
loading and unloading bad.
Yeah. People complain now. I have no idea how hard it was. My first printer was a Maker Farm wooden i3.
Wow.
No, me and Tim actually made a, what was it? It was a G-Tech. Well, I shouldn't say we made it. We tried to build it on screen. It was another not Prusa. Yeah, it was a Prusa knockoff.
Pro W or whatever, the Pro, whatever.
Yeah. It was another 9.5 hour build, and it was the G-Tech i3 Pro B wood version, and it's all wood frame. So not only is that, well, thankfully it had the G-Tech board, so it had the GT2560, so it was kind of a safe board. But if it had an ANAT board, it was just wood kindling for the fire that was going.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm thinking of humidity, stretching things out, moving everything around.
Yeah, so not only that, it was just a disaster putting that thing together. Excuse me. With a 5-spool 3mm ABS. Wow. Which I had no idea I was going to do, but I made it work. These new printers are so easy. Wow, I almost bought one. Where'd that go? But the lead time was like 4 months at the time. Dodged the bullet there. Yes. It's kind of good that came out, because I'm sure Prusa will enhance it and make it better for the version 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Mark 2 or.
Oh, they'll come through. They always do.
Yeah. So
it just wasn't ready. They rushed it.
Right. Exactly. Everybody kind of wanted it, and they were like, all right, here you go. And, while it is an okay printer, it does, unlike normal Prusas, it's got more problems.
Yeah, it does.
Budget printers have. So, which I kind of figured it was going to happen, but I was kind of giving Prusa the benefit of the doubt with their background, and most people were too. And well, that's
not so much. Yeah.
Hey, it happens with everybody, so it's you can't win them all.
Every company.
Most of my printers just sit too much stuff everywhere. I understand that completely. Right now, what I have 10 printers, including this one. This one's kind of the star of the show right now. I'm just kind of using it to test out. I got it literally a week ago from Creality, and putting this through its paces. So all the other ones are just kind of sitting idle right now. I haven't really had any prints come through. People ordering things. So they're just kind of sitting at the wayside. Not the end of the world. They've already all paid for themselves, so I'm not too concerned about it. So yeah. Talking too much?
I'll be done in 1 sec.
Yeah.
4 gigs. Case file.
Okay.
All right. I sent the private one out.
All right. Okay.
That's everything we need, right? To make a kit.
Yeah, let me make sure.
Yeah. Let me eyeball it again.
Yeah.
Card case, power supply. Yep, we're good. It's a 32 gig.
There we go. All right, let's take a gander at the comments. What is the? I can't get over the single support gantry on the Prusa Mini. That just weirds me out. So that was one of the concerns that a lot of people had with it, because I know originally they were thinking about doing their typical direct drive system on it, and the problem is when you have a gantry that's supported by literally nothing, it's going to sag. So that's one of the reasons why they went away and did a Bowden system, which was better. I'm sure it still sags a little bit, but not enough to really matter. So far, I haven't heard any major issues with that, at least that I can recall. So let's see here.
What's the best?
Jake.
What's the most annoying question you see come up in Facebook? Wow. Let's say it like this. No question's annoying. Right? We've all been there. We all had to start.
So
we have all annoyed other people trying to learn. So there you go.
That's a pretty hard question to ask, because I specifically wanted to have a group that was like open. And so that's why we all came together and was like, all right, what's something that we can have that, anybody could really just ask anything. Like, yes, there's the typical question that pops up every single day. What's the best budget printer for under X amount of dollars? That question pops up in literally every single
I know.
Is it to some people? Yes. But to me, I find it opportunity to direct somebody to say, hey, this is my experience. I'm not saying you have to go this way, but I had an Ender 3 that was a terrible, terrible printer. I personally like the G-Tech A10, and that's just my choice. But I know a lot of people are going to say Ender 3 automatically. It's like it's the standard, I guess. So, but again, with the question of annoying, I don't really find it annoying. It's just kind of, like I said, taking an opportunity to answer and give my 2 cents on the subject out of anything. So,
gotcha. All right, what else we got? Super interested in this. Nice.
I'm considering the Solval SV01 or the Ender 3 V2. Let me take a look at that. I want to say the Solval, unless that's their Ender one, which I think that might be actually. So
what's the other one they have coming out? The CR6 SE or something?
Yeah, that's
the auto bed level.
Yeah, that's the one on Kickstarter. So basically, what that is the new CR20.
Gotcha.
And that's basically what they did. Is they took a CR20, they poked around with some of the things that were bad on it, and made it a little bit better. At least I hope. And then put it out there for a Kickstarter, which was kind of strange because Kickstarter for 3D printing and Kickstarter, that's something I never ever get into because I know too many people that have been burned on that.
Yeah.
So
but they just, it's Creality. They're huge.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they use it for marketing, I bet.
Yeah, but even M3D touted about that, and they were a huge company back a couple of years ago with their cube style printers, really cool looking printers. And I guess they did this thing called the Quad Crane. And it basically was 4 colors into one extruder and really cool looking.
John remembers.
Really insane idea. And then it ended up that they changed the entire printer. People got printers like Tim. When I was working there, we got his printer, which was about 6 months behind what they had estimated the date to be. It was dead on arrival. He had to reflash it to get it to work. And then come to find out, it was a CR10 Mini, I think, rebadged. So basically, they just took the hot end off and then put their hot end on, called it a day. That's all they did.
Didn't even put the firmware on.
Yeah, and what's funny is like they didn't even try to hide it. You flip it over, and on the bottom of the bed where the heater is, it says Creality right on it. So it was like he didn't even hide it, and this wasn't even
try
frame or anything that you guys said was going to be. It was completely different printer.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see. Creality. Yeah, so this is the direct drive. It's basically the Solval looks like a direct drive Ender 3 in a way. I think it's dual Z though. So that's a plus. Yeah, it is dual Z. Okay. So it's a little bit better than an Ender 3. Is it better than the V2 though? That's a tough one because the V2 is not really out there. I can get my hands on V2s to sell if need be. But as of right now, I probably end up going with the Creality because they have more of a background on it, whereas Solval's kind of so-so. I'm not saying they're a bad printer, but they're not very known out there. And I think they even use like the same stuff. It looks like it's got a Melzi board in there and everything. Nice. Even a 2560, even CR10 board. Yeah. At least from
they're selling the what? The 6 with the 8-bit board now and a 32-bit board later or something like that?
Possibly. I'll be honest, I didn't even look at the Kickstarter to see what was going on because I was just like, I'm not even going to get into that because
I'm not either. I was just researching.
But yeah, I didn't even really research much. I just knew it had like auto bed leveling and it's kind of like modular, I guess. So it's
different.
Cool, but I don't know how cool it would be because
It looks nice. Let's see what it does.
right, exactly. That's kind of how I feel about it right now because again, I've been burned in the past with Creality machines, and none of them like me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. So, let's
What else
see.
we got?
Hopefully around Christmas, I want to get the new Elegoo Saturn and sell the Mars, depending on the price, and free shipping from Amazon in the future. So with that being said, I just saw on the group today, Calent. So for any of you guys know anything about Elegoo or the Elegoo Saturn, it's a huge deal right now. It's a medium-sized resin printer. It's an 8.9-inch LCD screen, and it's 4K resolution. So it's miles beyond what these printers are capable of printing. So with that being said, it's like the new big kid on the block that everybody wants it. Everybody wants everything that it can do. And now that the screens are out, me and John have actually been keeping an eye on these from a supplier to see about pricing on them. And they're pretty pricey right now, but I'm sure they'll come down closer to when it's getting to the end of the year. And Calent on their group just announced that they have 4K screens for the Calent S400, which if any of you guys know anything, that is directly based off of, or the Elegoo Saturn is directly based off of the Calent S400. It is slightly redesigned, but it is the exact same printer and size, build and printer height, like the whole printer itself. They just changed like the front face and everything and put a different build plate on it and called it the Elegoo. They did the same exact thing with the Elegoo Mars and the Calent S100. So, but now that that's out, all those people that can get Calent S400s right now can get an upgrade screen with the 4K, maybe spend, I don't know, another $150 extra for it and be at the Saturn, whereas the Saturn's not out yet. So, I mean, that's what's kind of happened with that.
Do you know if that Calent, does it have a ball joint, man?
That what?
That Calent, does it have a ball joint, that bigger one?
They do or do not?
Yeah, what does it have?
Oh, I have no idea. I think it's a 4-point system, like the Creality has right here.
Right.
So, yeah,
I'm wondering if that ball joint's going to have a problem on those big. Like if you have something way on the edge on one print, is it going to slightly pull?
Yeah, exactly. So, and some people like the ball joint system, others don't. Like I said, me personally, I'm not a big fan of it. Just like I'm not a big fan of the Under 3, but you know, a lot of people are. It's your choice. So,
yep.
I can voice my opinion, but a lot of people like that stuff. So, let's see here. Bigger bed, bigger gantry, beefier all around. The SVO2 is Bowden with Ender 3B2 screen. Yeah, so probably the Ender 3B2 is going to be a little bit better. And I know the pricing is pretty good on those. So that's another good thing. I don't know how much the actual price is going to be, but I know what I can probably start getting them for. Matt, PM me and let me know some of your favorite characters. I might send you an Xmas present. Cool, man. Well, if you know anything about me, like my whole thing is Kuma from Street Fighter. That's like my big thing. That's what my shop name is named after, Akuma Mods. So, not that I'm boasting anything.
Of course not.
So yeah.
What else we got?
I'm surprised. I expected we have a little bit more people here.
What's the count?
Only 8.
8, yeah.
It might be because of the platform we're using. So I'm wondering if we might want to hold off on that stuff, Joe.
Okay. Yep, that's fine.
A little differently.
Not a problem.
Maybe do it at a 25K.
Okay.
I think that's what we might do.
I'll include a USB thing too.
Cool.
We got to mention it's dual filament. Yep.
Listen. Chatter. Where's my chatter? I forgot to mention. Hey, this is cool, guys. How are you going in? you want to join in like the talk show, send me a message on Facebook through our 3D printing noob group. I'll put a link here. Actually, I'll put. Let's see here. Where are we? If you want to join, you can join here. Send me a message and I'll pop you in here, and then you can ask questions if you want. Got to be nice. Otherwise, you go bye-bye. I boot you out. I boot you out. You are on YouTube. We cannot allow.
It's get on the cart from Python.
Yeah, time zone issues. Yeah, I know. See, and that's the problem with a lot of things is like, and the other issue is I kind of did this last minute. Usually when I do giveaways or anything that I used to do in the past, I used to make sure that there was like a 2-week span in between it. And I used to spam everybody like, hey, make sure you know what's going on here and what time frame and this and that every single day. And I haven't had time to do that type of stuff. So 7 p.m. here in Vegas. Nice.
It's a nice first one though, right? Get everything working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had my camera go out, so we had our issue. That's
I still can't type a comment, but I can read them.
Yeah. I'll have to fix that for next time and see what's going on. I think next time I'll probably end up just doing it through Facebook, just to make it more cohesive, and then dump StreamYard altogether.
It works, but I think the other way is better.
Yeah, exactly. Like this one would work a little bit better if I had it multi-streaming. So if I wanted to stream the same exact thing over our 3 groups, I can do that better on here. Mm-hmm. But still, it would just be easier to do the one and then just
share it out.
So, all right, JQ Hartle. Any prints that you guys have done that you would call your favorite? That's a
favorite. Yeah, that is a tough one. I'm thinking the Gothic litho box with the 5 panels.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
That's probably my favorite to make. Makes a great gift too. But yeah, that would be my favorite. We'd ask John if he had a picture up.
We'll go through some of the prints I had. So this is, even though I keep
the ultimate lattice cube.
Yeah. So this is one of the cool ones that I printed.
That's the ultimate.
Yeah, this is a test cube on my big WeBox resin printer. So that's to show off how awesome it can do.
Those overhangs look great.
Yeah, and that printed just as that. No supports, no nothing.
Yep.
One of the cool ones that I did though, which was kind of a failure, was this. So I tried putting this flat like this with supports underneath it, and it failed miserably. As you can see, there's support. Didn't really make it. But for the most part, the front came out very well. It's nice and shiny. So that's more or less what I wanted to see how it was. So that was really cool to print that. I just did it literally on a whim. But yeah, I'd have to say that's one of the cooler prints. This one is probably the coolest print though, because it's functional as well.
Yeah.
Did that fit on the smaller resin, or did you have to use the big WeBooks for that?
This one actually came off of the SQ3.
How about the Game Boy case?
Yeah, this one came off the SQ3, the Game Boy one.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm looking at the screen below, which is 10 seconds behind. Crazy.
So here, I'm going to show this one. Let's do big. So this one's kind of cool. This one is called a death whistle. So you can print
that.
That's cool. You can find this on Thingiverse. Anybody can print it, whether it be resin or FDM. I figured it'd be cool to print it in resin because I had super fast green. Yeah, and what's funny is this is the green that came with my Nova printer, and my light here is so bright that it cured this resin within a minute.
Wow.
So I had poured it out I have like a little cup that's a measuring cup, and I poured it into the Nova that was sitting right here. And when I went to go check the prints to make sure it was printing, it already cured in the cup. So I have a pretty bright light there, as you can tell.
I'd say, yeah.
But I'm not going to blow this too loud. But
Nice.
But yeah, it makes a really eerie sound. So if you ever want to scare anybody or have something that's kind of cool for Halloween, the
Scare your kid with it,
really, really cool.
right? I could see you doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then I have some like miscellaneous ones here, like Sub-Zero on a Mortal Kombat plaque.
Yeah.
Didn't turn out too well because this is more or less like castable resin, so it's more for a specific thing. And then just some random prints for my son. He's into this game called Slime Rancher, and I printed all.
Mine too.
Yeah, so I printed out all the slimes for his birthday, so he had all those, and some more Lattice cubes. I don't even remember what printer this came off of, actually. Maybe the G-Tech DP200? Maybe? I don't know. These are like all my prints that my son steals. Oh, hey, I found it! Ah! I found my
Flexi.
I knew they were around here. Oh, I found the other one. Sweet. There's some fun prints. Oh, there we go. Plexi Rexies. Yep. Those are the coolest.
Fun.
Like so everybody like prints benchies and test cubes and everything. I print Plexi Rexies.
Yep.
Those
and
are
octopus.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. How do you deal with shrinkage on the resin prints, of course? So basically you test and tune. That's as simple as that. Take case in points, these resin printed D-pads. So again, one of the reasons why I got into resin printing is for parts like this. This is a resin printed D-pad that's specifically designed to fit a GPI case. And I probably went through maybe 20 different variations of this to get it correct for tolerances and everything. So that way, the press and the feel and everything was good on it. So it's a lot of work to do it, unfortunately, but once it's done, it's done. Like you can put it on any printer and it'll be good. So that's one of the nicer things, as long as your printer's tuned in and ready to rock and roll. So just like FDM, if it's not tuned, it's not going to work the same. Tolerances are different. Like take, for example, if I had an under 3 right here or G-Tech A10 and I print something and Joseph designed it for his Prusa printed a hell of a lot better than my under 3 and G-Tech A10 will, because his tolerances on his Prusa are like insanely close. So his prints will come out perfect.
It's a nice printer.
That's another reason why I love those printers. Not that I'm a fanboy.
I know.
Let's see. How much of a pain in the ass is ABS really? Do you guys have any experience or insight? Everyone talks about ABS like it's the boogeyman. I don't know. Have you guys ever printed with ABS?
I haven't, because I don't have the ventilation for it.
Okay.
That's the only reason. I know I can.
Yeah.
The printer will do it. I just, like I said, I don't have the ventilation set up where I could exhaust the fumes.
Agreed. Click the like button.
Yeah, I have printed ABS. I needed a flange, I guess, to screw on, and another part came out, and I printed an ABS. But I have an enclosed printer with a filter. So
Yeah.
There you go.
So with my experience of that, it's just as easy as PLA.
Yeah.
When I worked for TH3D, we obviously had to have a print farm there because we printed parts for the easy ABLs and bed mounts and whatever people wanted to throw at us for designing and printing. So we had at the time like 8 ABS printers, and they were all under 3s. My favorite. And basically, all it is you change out the heat break for an all metal one if you want. It's not it's not necessarily needed, but you will have to change out the PTFE on the stock one if you do. So you might as well change out the heat break. Change out the heat break, put a little better extruder on there, and that's really about it. I think that's all we did. So in terms of how simple it was, is you put up the temps up to 245, I think it was, on the hot end, and 100 on the bed, and then you have it in an enclosure, and that heat will allow it to stick to the layers and adhere properly, and that was it. So everything was good after that. So as far as I'm concerned, the only one that's an issue out of, filament that's printing that people have that like to use constantly, PETG is the one that's kind of a pain, because while it will print, it'll be like super hairy and just have stringing all over the place. So you have to fine tune it here and there. Whereas PLA and EBS are pretty much the same. You're just changing the temperatures on it. They print exactly the same as far as I'm concerned. So,
hey Matt, I know we were talking about flexible resins.
Yes.
Frozen black is actually pretty Spider-Man eye. It's actually pretty flexible, dude. Check it out.
What is it?
It's frozen black.
Oh yes. I've been hearing a lot about Frozen and their properties on that. Speaking of that,
pretty good. As you saw, Ben's.
I actually have.
My son wants a mask, so
yeah, that's good. That's good to know.
That will be the mask at some point.
So I have some stuff that's technically not on the market yet, but it will be. And as you can see, what it's there, elastic resin.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah. So I have some prototyping elastic resin. So I got to find something to print with. I don't know. I did see, excuse me, I saw an ad today for Formlab, and somebody printed like a cup, and they basically like crushed it. And I'm like, that would be interesting to do like an elastic cup, and fit it around a can, maybe shrink it down a little bit so that way I can do that and make it like a koozie. A resin koozie.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Totally useless in most cases, but it's just for printing purposes to show it off.
You made it. Yeah, exactly.
You got them.
Yeah. So.
I'm too high here. There we go.
What is that, Joseph?
It's one of the what do they call them? The Stein mugs.
Ah, yes. Oh, that's the one you printed. Yeah.
Yeah. The one you saw got stolen by my uncle. So this is now a second one. But yep.
That's cool.
That was a fun print.
What filaments is that again?
That's Mica 3Ds.
Ah, yes. Okay.
A little pricey, but it comes out nice.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
It's a silk base, so 220, but good.
Yeah. That's
nice.
Like it.
Not made one yet.
What are your preferred methods of calibration for FDM printers? Thanks for starting this group guide. Anytime, man. As for calibration,
where do you begin? Dead leveling.
Yeah, there's tons of things. That would be my first one. To be in all honesty, I personally have never done the whole E-steps thing. I know a lot of people swear by that. But thankfully I've had printers where they're good. They're printing. And in my opinion, with me having my history with the Ender 3, if it prints fine, don't touch it.
All right.
Don't
leave it alone.
Leave it be. So, let's see.
What else?
Yeah, no, I've only changed my E-steps usually I'll run an E-steps test if I look off or whatever, but most of the time they come pretty close.
Yes.
Steven, you have the same mug, huh?
Am I at 3.5?
Yes.
Same colors?
Those signs are badass. Let's see here. JQ Harl. That's what I use. PETG, and yes, it is stringy and hairy, but I'm sure it's a retraction issue. Yes, most of the time it is, from what I'm aware of. but PETG is kind of like a good in between. So you have like PLA, which is like stuff that you would make for your house. This is all PLA stuff. All this wall mounted stuff is PLA because it's going to be on a semi-cold wall that never gets hot or anything. So I'm not really worried about what happens with it. And that's really all I've really printed with. I have PETG here. It's sealed in a bag in a brand new box.
Well, I've used it a lot. It works well.
Yeah.
Once you tune it, it works great.
Yeah, I've personally never done it. I know what's nice about the Prusa is they have an automatic setting for it. So
it works well too.
So that was cool.
Oh yeah, it's made things way easier.
Yeah, that was about the only time that I tried printing it, and it came out fine. It was like a frame brace that I needed for my Tronxy X5S that I had.
Yeah. The only thing I do is flip the smooth PEI for the powder coated.
See, you had that. I didn't even have that. When I got mine, my PEI was applied directly to the bed, and it was destroyed.
Yeah.
So I had to scrape that off. That was real fun. It took me about 2 hours to do that.
Nice.
And then I put a TH 3D mat on that, and I got a lot of bad looks for it because the Prusa guys were like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
But it worked. So.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
What else we got going on? Silk blue. Nice. Is that what is it? Yoshu silk blue?
Oh yeah. I just got their gold, and I had never heard of that until recently. And I got an Amazon return, and the spool was just.
I got one of those too.
Yeah, and so I just kind of rewound it a little bit, and it printed fine.
Yeah, I've gone through 3 rolls of their gold. eSun's gold I like a little better, to be honest.
Yep.
But their filament in general has been great. I've had the rose pink one. I have the blue one in the back and 2 golds to go through. I just got the blue.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. All right. Let's see here. 3D printing and painting. When you buy your first printer, never upgrade right away. Learn the machine working right, then upgrade one thing at a time if you need to in case something goes wrong. Absolutely. I wish I knew that about 2.5 years ago when I had my Under 3. But I think my Under 3 was just destined to be a disaster because even after I learned how to do things, it never worked.
Yeah.
Also, on top of that, I know you said, Jerry, you said that to kind of plug my resin. I kind of stopped with that resin right now. I'm kind of looking for other areas of distribution besides eSun. And as of right now, I just don't have the cash flow to do that type of stuff because it wasn't really selling. Which is funny because if anybody knows anything about resin, most of the time you see, like, I'm going to do this without gloves. Oh my God. You see this and it's just an open bottle of resin. Well, on eSun, there's a cap that sits inside here. And it keeps it, I guess, even fresher, if you want to say. So, in my opinion, it makes it a little bit better. Even though the downfall is it's an aluminum can, add it, give or take that. So.
What else we got, Matt? Your voice streaming in the background. Nice.
Yeah. Or she's doing something. I don't know.
There
you go. Hey,
there you go. That's it.
Yep. So they have like a little suction cap, which is kind of a pain to remove. Unless you got a spatula, you can get underneath it and pry it up all over. But
just get it under your fingernails and deal with it.
Yep. How about exotics like carbon fiber reinforced PC, like nylon? Any experience printing that or handling parts printed with it? I know it can be nasty like ABS. Yeah, that's a whole other story.
Nylon's a tough one.
I do have carbon fiber proto pasta. It's very expensive stuff.
It's good stuff.
I also have Nylon X, which is brand new, unopened. I have not used, nor will I probably ever use. So as far as I know about printing that, they're a pain to print.
Oh yeah, you can slap the steel nozzle on.
Yeah, but apparently it's not even that. Like you got to have a special
everything
break. You got to have a printer that can go up to high temperatures. Maybe not for the carbon fiber. Carbon fiber, I think you can print similar to like a PETG, but you do need some extra stuff with it. But I know Nylon X, you definitely need a higher end printer in order to do that because it's just not. It's not going to print on like an Ender 3 right out of the box. You know,
Yeah,
not.
no.
So, is my wife streaming in the background? No, she is not. They can see you.
She's famous now.
Look, now she's all shy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's famous now.
No, she's looking at stuff for her car.
I bought the brakes.
Okay.
Well, they'll be coming Tuesday, but.
I forgot. Did your wife stream? No. I
Uh,
posted my mug in the noobs page. Awesome, Steve.
Saturday all through, and then Sunday we could do it.
Let me check that out.
let's see here. I posted my mug on the noobs page. Yes, I saw that. It looks very nice. I like that that blue. It is nice and shiny. It's so shiny.
Let's see.
Joseph,
They
did
were
you
up to
print that
12.
mug in gold?
What?
Didn't you print that mug in gold, or did you do a different one in gold?
Nope, that's actually the one I did with the Amazon
Was it?
from
Okay.
your show.
Yeah, all right.
We got it. It's right here.
Let's see here. That's why I switched to an all-metal hot end and steel nozzle in anticipation for materials like that. So with that being said, if you're going to do Nylon X, I believe you need a different heater cartridge as well, because you need to go up to like 300 degrees or something insane like that. I could be wrong. I don't know. I've never really
Is
used it.
that gold?
Yeah, there you go. That's fancy.
That's the one.
Yep. Yeah.
And
I
of course,
that
Matt.
Oh my God, that thing's huge. There's
That's the one.
the deleted thing.
Some days you just get bored. You know what I mean?
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yep. So, is there any other 3D printing YouTubers you guys follow?
Nuri.
Neri?
Chris Taylor. Nuri.
Yeah,
Today's 3D print.
Chris is a pretty funny guy.
Oh, yeah.
I've
He's
met
He does a good job, though.
Yeah. I don't think I actually follow anybody, but I mean, I check in from time to time, you know, with the 3D printing noob and CNC Kitchen and Chris Taylor. I see him, Neri,
Joel, 3D printing nerd.
Joel, the 3D printing nerd. Like I've met all those guys personally. I've been right next to them.
Yep.
At Murph, like we were all hanging out. So I've met them in person. I know who they are. On a more personable level, I guess, because at that point in time I worked for TH3D Studio, so I was kind of like their ambassador, I guess, GM. So I kind of had to, know them. But yeah, I don't truly follow people unless I really see like, hey, this is some content that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
But
Just the way he presents it, for me, works.
yeah,
He really tears them apart.
that's really all like depending on the person. I know a lot of people that like Joel. I know a lot of people that don't like Joel. I know a lot of people that like Chris, but I know a lot of people that don't. Chris is definitely a very unusual.
He's a character.
Yeah. But he has some good points, and he knows a lot of stuff. He's
He's really good.
So I personally kind of like Chris out of any of those. If I was to keep an eye on anybody, and out of anybody, I think that might be the one person that I am subscribed to.
Yeah.
Just because like me and him are friends on Facebook.
Yeah. We're friends as well.
I got him down the rabbit hole of what's sitting behind John.
Oh, that thing.
Any cubic predator, which he bought from Lily. So yeah, he's got, and that's why he got a Chiron, is because I sent him the hookup for any cubic.
Nice.
I know some people had it.
Definitely hooked me up with that.
Yeah, he was happy about that one. So okay.
And post that on YouTube. Heater cartridge from the thermistor upgrade. Yep.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. The firmware.
Yeah, definitely.
What was it? Let's see here. Yeah, actually, I think I am sub to 3D printing and painting. Now that I'm reminded of that. Just because I know, you know what, I know 100% that I am, because there was a print that you showed off for. It was a Wolverine print, and I was like absolutely blown away. And that's when I first found you and found your YouTube channel, because that's how I found you. Then I found out that you had a 3D printing and painting group, and I joined that and did all that stuff. So
Yeah, I'm like that all the time. Well, and the bad thing.
so yeah. That might be true about the heater cartridge, but you would probably also need to do a thermistor upgrade. Yes, firmware, and I do believe stock boards keep the option to go that hot. You might be right about that. I'm not 100% sure. Again, I'm kind of so nowadays with FDM stuff. Still know a good portion, but they're still like I said. I was talking to John and Joseph the other day about this. Like, I know a good portion, but when it comes to like firmware settings and things, or not firmware, slicer settings and like board limitations and what you can do and how to wire them and things like that, I'm totally out of my league. Like, I can learn it pretty quickly, but it's just like, what are you talking about? Because there's just so many things going on and different slicers and different boards, and all kinds of stuff. So
I've been playing with all the Prusa settings now, and Simplified 3D. I'm still playing with that.
Yep. Yeah.
Trying to merge one perfect profile, which is not happening so well.
Yep.
But I'll get it.
I think I'm going to kind of slowly move into the whole Prusa thing, because
It's really good. Aside from the machine, the slicer itself is really good.
Yeah.
And 2.3.0 that's coming out pretty soon. It's in alpha now. You should see the way he do supports.
Oh,
so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you put an enforcer in or something like that.
You're right.
All you got to do is touch. Like if you had a horse and you wanted it under its muzzle, you just touch under the muzzle with your thing, and it puts it in automatically.
Sold.
Done.
Because that's
just put a little circle on how large you want it. Done.
Yeah. So they kind of added that in. Not this past one, but the one before it. They did the around the print.
Yeah.
What is that? Like a brim. For me, it was just they call it around for the resin side.
Oh, you got skirt brim and wrap. They don't use.
And then you just do the supports off the brim, and that's how it does it. And it's awesome, super simple, straightforward. You're done. So, but it's also nice for someone like me who still kind of has an FDM printer and still works with FDM printers, because I still buy them as a used printer, and I sell them. Like refurbished ones, I sell them to people who want cheap machines that are working. I still need to do some slicing here and there. So Prusa is nice because not only is it FDM, it's also resin too. So it's a 2-in-1 program for people like me.
Everything you need.
Who knows? Maybe someone like you down the road. So.
I know. I hear. I'm already thinking about it.
But yeah, I mean that's one of the things that was like,
thanks, John.
That's awesome that it has. So. Yeah, I like that a lot, and then their supports is what sold me from get go. So
they're great.
I'd had great supports. Prusa has maybe just a slight up hand on that one, in my opinion.
I also like that auto orientation thing that it does too.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
That's the other thing, the auto fixing of STL files that it has.
Oh, through NetFab.
Yeah, like that is awesome.
Yeah.
That
you can upload them to NetFab yourself, but it detects it, tells you what's up.
Yeah, because I mean, like, let's say I throw something in Tinkercad right now, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, hey, this is hollowed out on this one piece. Well, I'm not going to see that. I'm just going to throw it in. All right, slice it up and put it into an STL and put it in my slicer.
Yeah.
Whereas Prusa will see that and they'll be like, hey, this is all messed up. We're going to fix it for you and call it a day.
Done. Even the Flexi Raptors we were talking about.
Yeah.
When you load one of those, you'll say it'll bitch.
Right.
It'll tell you there's an error in it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there was a printer, it was a Shark Flexi, like the first ones that you would do flat. And I never could get it to print, ever, when I had an FDM printer. Never. I never tried it on a resin yet, but it just never would print. And now that I'm thinking it might just be a bad STL and it might need to be fixed. So, because nobody has put any photos or anything like, hey, I printed this and it printed fine. Like, so that could be
Just send it to me. I can play with it.
So, yeah, I'll take a look at it. It's been a while since I did that. Let's see, going back to people. Oh, hey, what's up, Rorik? Rorik Murdoch in the house. I was talking about your buttons earlier to Joseph here.
Yep.
Are ruby tip nozzles really worth the purchase?
Wow.
That's a tough one. I personally cannot speak from that. Only words that I've heard, and the bird of the word is they're not. Just buy a regular, hardened steel nozzle. They're pretty much the same. They might last a tad bit longer than a hardened steel nozzle, but for the price you pay for them, I personally, from hearing people talk about it, it doesn't seem like it's that much. But again, I can't talk from a personal experience. I've never used them, so kind of out of my thing. Let's see here. Damn, kids are messaging here.
I know I'm getting blasted myself here.
Let's see here. Is slicing resin prints much different than FDM? Slightly different in some ways, but for the most part, it's the same type of structure. So when I say slightly different, it's orientation. So as you guys can see or not see, right here is a resin print, and it has supports. This is just a basic one. I just put it up there, did some automatic supports, and then I retracted some of those automatic supports so it's not overly crazy. But like take, for example, that case that I was showing you, this case. So on an FDM printer, I can print this just like this, flat on the bed, and put supports underneath it, and it'll have a fantastic time doing it. No problem. Whereas resin, as you can see, this is what happens with it. Everything is warped.
Yeah.
Because the way that the film and the way that the build plate lifts off of the film, it has a suction. And that's how you know when something's printing well. You'll hear it like that. And this, you could clearly hear it on this one because it's got brand new FET film. But yeah, when it does that peel force, it kind of takes away and pulls it off of the supports. Yeah. So even if you have a million supports on this thing, it'll still do that and it'll warp pieces. It's the nature of the game. So one of the things that you have to learn with resin support structure is angling prints. So if you really wanted to print this properly, you'd actually have to like angle it like this, or probably even more like this. Well, actually, so let's say this is my build plate. I would angle it like this, more or less. So you want to angle it on a corner and then on the other corner, because you want somewhere for the resin to drip off, because that's one of your biggest issues that you'll have is resin pooling is what it's called. And that happens a lot when you do, support that's just straight up and down. And that's why one of the problems, like printing something that's a flat surface and you're doing supports on it. You can't do supports on a flat surface, really. Can you get away with it? It's possible, but it's very rare. Usually you would just print directly on a build plate at that point. So whereas FDM, you can print directly on a build plate, or you can print directly on top of supports. So that's really the big difference between resin and FDM printing, is your support structure and angling and things like that. So yeah. All right, let's see here.
How we doing? Good numbers.
Number 12. An even dozen.
What did I miss something here? What's going on? All right. So how long you guys want to do this for? You want to go for another half hour and call it a day?
Sure. We have enough to talk about.
What'd you say, John?
I got to run in here. In
okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, you could pop out, and then me and Joseph will be here.
Yeah, I might pop back. Yeah.
Okay.
They're using the Quest, the Oculus Quest. I don't want them to break it.
Oh, you just got that fancy thing, huh?
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
nice. Alrighty, sir. Well, thanks for
Hey,
coming
John.
on. We'll see you.
Yeah, no, I'll probably pop back in. I'm just gonna
All right.
go on there so you guys can make me go away or whatever. But
We'll see you again, sir.
yeah.
All right. Let's see. Just going through comments here.
I'm trying to get caught up.
I've heard of the ruby falling out. I've heard a couple things about that as well. So that's one of the things where I'm like, if that happens, well, then what's the point of buying it? Because it's a really expensive nozzle.
Yeah. Hardened steel would be so much. It's just
exactly.
makes more sense.
You bump up the temps a little bit. That's what I did when I had my Prusa. Like when I got it, it printed, but it printed kind of strange. So I'm like, maybe it's got a bad nozzle. I'm like, you know what? I got an extra V6 hardened steel nozzle. I'll throw that on there and use it for, marble filament, wood filament, whatever.
Yeah.
I want. Bump up the temps 10 degrees here and there, depending on what I'm printing with.
It works fine.
Beast. And sure enough, it works. So it was a good
I keep a couple on hand.
Yep. So sheet to box software for resin prints is very easy to use. Yes, sheet to box is kind of so for me. I personally like Prusa Slicer if I'm going to do supports, and then I'll export that file as an STL to sheet to box and then slice it in sheet to box. But I kind of stray away from sheet to box as much as I can if I'm going to do any type. If I'm going to do anything wrapped, I'm going to stray away from sheet to box. Unfortunately, it's not my deal. I know a lot of people like it. It's kind of like the Cura of resin printing, in my opinion. Like it's nice. It's just there's some better things.
I have tried Cure, man. I cannot use it.
Yeah, I
just don't get it.
Way back in the day, and I got away from it about 2 weeks after using it.
Oh, yeah.
Simplified, and it was like game changer. Totally,
it's a whole different ball game. It works.
So, and it was much better. And then now I'm starting.
Now Prusa Slicer.
A Prusa Slicer, just because it has the dual world there. So.
Yeah, it's great.
And from last I heard, for at least the resin printing community, they were working on exporting to different file types. So like right now the issue is it only exports to whatever the Prusa SL1 resin printer outputs. So like normally for FDM it's G code. For resin, like this one is like CHP or something like that. My other printer is CWS. My other printer is .DJS. So
not even remotely standardized.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody's got their own thing. They all use the same board, but everybody's got their own proprietary, file code. And if Prusa actually keeps with that and does that output file system, I'm 100% going to there, and that'll be the end of that. Nobody will touch that. To be
yes, what is it, SL1 or something like that?
Yeah, whatever the SL1 is, that's what it outputs. You can modify it, but then that means you modify it just for that printer. So like my WeBox is a modified version of Prusa Slicer, so it outputs in DJS, but I can't use it to slice a file and put it on here. It won't output it, even if I manually change the file to
try and fake it.
Yeah, fake it. It won't do it.
The format's different.
What file is this? It won't show anything. So that's the downfall.
I started with Cure and then went to Simplify 3D and now Prusa Slicer. Yep. Yeah, Steven, same thing.
Yeah.
The Cure, everyone loves it. That starts. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, and I still tell people like, hey, if you're new to printing, use it Cura, because it really is a very simple, straightforward setup. But if you know what you're doing, I highly suggest stepping into the world of either Simplified 3D if you want to spend the cash on it, or even better, just dip into Prusa Slicer for a little bit.
Simplify's starting to fall back a little bit, though.
It is, and
for $150, it's really not the top of the game anymore.
Yeah, and I kind of learned that, unfortunately, about a month and a half too late.
Nice.
Finally got around to buying a license because I never needed one working with TH3D. I had one.
Yeah.
So I went out and I bought a license, and I'm like, yeah, I'll use that. And I didn't say I never. I probably used it maybe 5 times, and I've had it for almost 9 months now.
Wow.
And so I ended up selling the license off to somebody else and getting rid of it. So now I still have it on my computer, but if I go to click on it, it asks for a login. So it's basically useless now.
Yeah, I bought it about 2 years ago too.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's useless to me. I don't use it. So it's cool.
I do once in a while.
Yeah, it was cool. And I had an amazing setup for it especially for supports. Like they just peel away. But it's just the Prusa slicer has just that slightly better edge on it, especially with the new stuff that they've been working on.
There's a lot coming out in 2.3.0.
Basically, once they switch from what was it? It was called
Slicer.
Slicer. Yeah, once they switch from Slicer to Prusa slicer, changed everything. Like that put it on a whole.
They have some good coders over there.
Yeah,
they really do.
Amazing people that work on that stuff. And not that I'm trying to be a fanboy about it. But
Yeah, I'll get you hooked again.
it really is the better.
Next stream, you'll have the SL1 sitting right there.
Oh, I've already contacted them about an SL1. It's very tempting, but I don't know if I can do that. That $1,000. What is it? No, it's like $1,200 for one.
Yeah,
of
it's a lot
for the kit.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money considering my big printer, which is almost 3 times the size as a Prusa in terms of build and the printer itself, was about that much. So let's see here.
What do we got going on?
Matt, you're talking to me. I use Tinkercad, but I don't know where to go from there. Yes, I am currently in that situation right now where I'd like to design things myself, but I have no idea how to do it. My ability to draw is stick figures, and that's even maybe that's a stick figure type thing.
Yeah, I'm terrible myself.
Yeah, like I've always been terrible. I can barely even draw a straight line. So it's just always been something that's one of my biggest downfalls, unfortunately. And I'm trying to get into that whole world of designing, and it's such like it's basically like bringing somebody from the 1800s into nowadays and saying, here you go, here's life, enjoy.
Have fun.
And then they just look at everything like, what is this? What is everything? What is this thing flying in the air? Like, that's kind of how I feel no matter where I step into. Like Tinkercad is kind of so. I can get the basics of it, but you can only do so much.
Fusion 360. Oof.
Yeah, that is way beyond. That's like technology 2048.
Oh man, my wife's certified in SolidWorks, so she does a lot for her job. Which is cool because she'll design something, come home, I'll blast it out like a rapid prototype. She brings it back to her company, all set, and they try it out.
There you go.
Try alignments and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, see, that's great to have, and my wife knows how to draw and everything, so I should probably get her to get into it. But man, that would be like the ultimate thing. Like she designed, I'll print them and call it a day.
You guys would be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So, but yeah, that's my next step. It's going to be a long journey, but we'll see how far that goes. So, not expecting much out of it. Let's see here. That's odd. The ruby would fall out. Heat usually shrinks metals. However, I suppose depending on if it's brass ruby tip nozzle or steel ruby tip nozzle would have different properties. That's true. That might be. I hear the ruby keeps falling out. Sorry for the tips. Need to run, guys. Take care. Sorry, I missed you, Jerry. There. Have a good night. PTFE oil on FEP will fix that. Squirt on, wipe off, and pour in resin. Yeah, that's kind of like Rain-X for cars. PTFE oil. But I do angle everything anyways. Yep. Have either of you tried experimenting with non-planar 3D prints? So I don't even know if you know what that is. That's something that came up a couple months ago. And who was it? God, I want to say what's his name? Michael Crow, Teaching Tech. I think had a video about that.
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah, Michael Crow. Yeah, he brought out a video about non-planar, and basically it's like it moves with the print itself. It's real crazy. So there's a lot of cool things with that and a lot of downsides I see with that. When you're doing, like if you're a model railroad person or you're doing landscaping, there you go. If you're doing landscaping stuff, I can see that working beneficial 100% to what you're needing because you can get it nice and all kinds of different waves and everything that you need to make it look like a legitimate piece for grass or a mountain or whatnot. But when it comes to like printing something that has like an Eiffel Tower in the background and then you have a bump and this and that, then it can spell disaster and kill the print, and that's the whole thing. But also on top of that, I heard it's also a pain to code all that stuff in there for the G code to properly work and everything. And it's just like,
It's gonna be a nightmare.
is it really worth the time to do that? Again, in some ways,
Depends.
in some ways, not. I've never personally tried it though. It looks real crazy though. So let's see here. Good question. Thanks. Yes, the non-playing thing. Yurdi's in here now. Started with Kuro, went to S3D, now Prusa Slicer. What's up?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I missed so many. I've been talking so much.
Yeah.
It's what I do. Sorry.
That's why we're here.
Let's see. Yes,
Hi guys. Hello.
Hello, Matt. Hate Kira Slicer since the beginning, and now the Prusa took it over to S2D is worthless. Yes, I agree. As far as flex plates go, I've tried a few different flex plates, and now I have everyone PEI and textured. They both work great. So to be in all honesty and straightforward with everybody here asking about flex plates, they're all from the same manufacturer. I know the guy. He works with several manufacturers. Whether they add something different or they don't, they usually are all the same in terms of the steel plate itself. Some people have, their little logo on the front. Some of them have it on the actual plate. Some of them have it in the corner. They're all exactly the same. Maybe even Prusa uses theirs from that same manufacturer because he's a really big guy in China that's all he does is just cut sheet metal all day. Yep. So it's a good possibility they might even use them too. But so no matter where you shop, try and find the cheapest price because that's going to be your best bet. Whether you get it from AliExpress or some other company, I personally got mine from TH3D Studio. But again, I know Tim and I had a prototype and I use their products, so that's just me. I know a lot of people use the Wham Bam systems. Personally, those are a little expensive for what they are because you can buy them anywhere cheaper, literally anywhere. But even the AliExpress is kind of expensive at times. Amazon is, I think, actually pretty cheap right now, depending on where you look. So, I mean, there's all kinds of different places. So. But they all use the same manufacturer as far as I know. Maybe not the PEI part, but definitely the flex steel, which is really the most important thing because you got to make sure it's flat.
Oh, it helps.
So,
it helps.
No, man. ABMCT. I have no idea what that is.
Got both free. My end of 3 arrived today. Sweet.
I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, that's great. Fusion 360 simpler included, but plenty of free tutorials out there, and for the price of free 99, that's powerful. That's what I keep hearing. That's what I learned. CAD on SolidWorks, amazing program, but $1,500 a year for the license. Woo!
The work pays for it.
Yeah, that's an expensive thing. Did I say Michael Cruz? Yeah, Michael Laws. Sorry. Hi guys, Tony Brodas. What's up, Tony? I think you risk hitting the print with the print head. Yes, exactly. Got both free. God, I'm trying to keep up here. Hey, I'm finally caught up here. My Ender 3 arrived today. Looking forward to the weekend. There you go. So that would be a fun weekend for you. It's
a good build.
Just grab a couple prints from Thingiverse or Yeggi.com, YEGGI.com. just go ahead and search for anything, and try your hand in this or that. As long as you got some filament, print away. As we were speaking earlier, my personal favorite to do for a test print is a Flexi Rexy, which I have no idea where I put them now. I think I put them back. So I printed some small Flexi Rexys. That's always my test print. A lot of people do benchies. A lot of people do test cubes. A lot of people do the octopus. That's all depends on what you want to do. But I really like Flexi Rexys.
Like everything.
Find what your thing is.
That's why I was laughing when you brought up the octopus. I knew I had the big one out there.
Yeah, exactly. My little one. This guy's a little bit different. He's a steampunktopus. So he's
there you go.
Crazy looking thing.
Fancy.
Yeah, that's a cool looking guy. So yeah, I think we'll be on here for about another 15 minutes, and then we're gonna call it a night because I know it's getting pretty late for you, Joseph.
A little bit.
And probably got some things to do, some sleep to get.
Of course. Gonna eat something.
Yeah.
I'm starving.
No. Yeah, well, we're whittling away, Joseph here.
Sorry.
John might pop back in here from time to time. So, but yeah, if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and spit them out.
Yeah.
Here to chit chat, just to know you guys, and who knows, maybe we might make this a regular thing, like every 2 weeks or every month or something. We'll do a live stream with.
I think we should.
Heads. That would be good. And I'll sit here talking everybody's ear off.
Nice.
Here's John. There's somebody rattling around there. Oh, no, he died.
Yep. He's gone.
He ran away.
He's out of here. All right, what we got? Lots of good info. Thanks for sharing. Yeah.
Getting a little worn out. Yeah. Okay.
Resin. Nice.
Can you print? It's already getting late. Can you print the Flexis on a resin printer? Absolutely. In fact, that one I just showed you is off of a resin printer. This is actually a test print on the Nova Elfin 3D to show off how awesome that printer is. I did print 2 of these. The second one I did, I broke the little tip of the arm, so he had to go because I had this light on, and it cured the resin a little bit, and so it didn't really make it that great. So I kind of killed them accidentally with the light. So, but yeah, this guy printed off perfectly fine. I have not tried a Flexi Rexy, but I'm sure it'll work just as fine because, like resin, like FDM, it'll print it layer by layer, so it'll do it the way that it's intended to, the correct way per its G code or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see here. We got several prints ready to go and plenty of filament. Awesome. So
there you go.
Awesome weekend, or a very short weekend because you're going to be sitting there doing a 20-hour print, and it comes out to be a 30-hour print. You'll learn that quick.
We were talking about that. Yeah.
So one of the things you'll learn really quick is Cura will tell you, hey, this print will take 4 hours when it actually takes 7 hours, or whatever slicer you're using. Yeah,
they all lie.
It's just the nature of the game. They can't really calculate the variables of how things print, unfortunately. So just be aware of that. Whatever you're printing, just add on an extra hour, maybe 2, just to be on the safe side.
2 if it's a raft, for sure.
Yeah, you'll be much happier with yourself. You'll kind of be in a ballpark area. So thanks, guys. You're very welcome, Yuri. Ural.
Welcome.
Ural? I said Yuri. Ural Ambrosio. Yegi and Cults are both great search engines for STLs. I haven't used Cults yet, but I'll test that. I'll see how that is.
Yeah, I'll try that one.
Lots of good info. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for your time, guys. Absolutely, anytime. Maybe we'll do it a little bit earlier next time because this is kind of late for Joseph. There we go. So he's on the East Coast. So what? It's almost 11 o'clock your time. Yeah, it's kind of late.
It's getting there.
I have other crafts that I do in the wait time. Oh well, that's a good thing to do. That's what I do. Like. He's got his arcades that he can play with, and I have Raspberry Pis that I can slim down, and other miscellaneous video games, handhelds that I can deal with and fix up, and what else?
Tons to do.
Uriel. Yeah. Okay. You did a great job saying my name, though. Cool. I try. I fail, but I try.
Now you got mine right. You're like one of the few.
Hey, there you go. I'm estimated. Oh, you're Eastern. Okay, I read that as I'm estimated time. So I'm like, what are you talking about? It's getting late here. I'm EST, so time is good. So yeah, you're what, 2 hours behind then? So yeah, you're really, really early. Thanks, dude. I did learn stuff. Awesome. Yeah, and if you guys haven't joined the group, I will share the link here. Where are we?
We got to figure out how to tell people about all three groups, you know?
Yes. Yeah. I think we're going to, after this, I'm going to go through the announcement section and kind of clear that out. And do what I said with all the COVID stuff and the knives and the swearing and everything like that.
Yeah.
All the bad pictures, and clean that post up and then put an extra one stating like sister ones. I also did link the groups, so
I saw that
up as suggested for some people.
Yep.
The downfall with some of the stuff that's used on the PC, is that you don't see it on the phone, which I kind of hate.
Really?
So like the announcement section, you actually have to find that. It's not something.
Oh, it doesn't pop up.
So whereas like on here, that's the first thing that pops up when you go onto the group, is that, the announcement section is right there in your face. So, they can read all the announcements. So that's why I wish there was like a pop-up or something to say, hey, this is on top of that. So, but whatever.
It's all good.
We'll get it all ironed out.
All good.
Let's see here. I'm just accepting some members into the group. I don't know.
It is like 7. It was like 17 a minute ago.
Yeah. There was 14 right now.
Nice.
So
you and I are always tripping over each other.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to stay on top of it, so I'm not sitting there like, okay, it's been 37 minutes and there's 20 people in here, and
we got another 150 today.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I wonder. I'll add these in. I wonder what we're at today. I think we're at maybe 22,000, possibly. Let's see. We're gonna decline and accept. All right, let's see how many members we have. Currently, we have
21,313.
Whoop whoop. So
Not bad.
we are constantly growing at an exponential rate. This is the fastest group I've ever been a part of, let alone done any type of modding or adminning to, that has grown at that rate. Usually it takes years to grow even 10,000. And we've done this, and
you got to do it right.
God,
you got to make people comfortable. There's a lot to it.
Exactly. And that's
no harassment, none of that.
Right. And that kind of goes back to that comment, like, what's the most, annoying answer? Well, in a lot of eyes, there are a lot of annoying answers, but to us, we kind of take it all in and make it as an opportunity out of anything. So it's kind of nice to help out people.
I don't mind at all. Yeah, I enjoy it.
So
because we've all been there.
Yeah, exactly. I've been there. I know the disaster of Ender 3. I mean,
not that you're ragging on them today or anything.
So I understand it. I get it. I know where it's at. So don't say you're not alone.
I'd say we're
all been there. It's been a long, treacherous road to get to where everybody has to be.
Yep.
No need to fight it alone.
A lot of stress.
Exactly.
That's all good.
So,
all right.
Yeah, I think
I'm running out of ideas.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done for the night. I think I've talked everybody off enough, and
I'm about to eat my phone, so it's about time to take care of some food.
So yeah, I think we're gonna end it for the live feed tonight. Maybe we'll do something a little different on the next time. Maybe we'll just go directly through the Facebook page and get some more of our regular viewers in there. see
Yeah.
how it goes. And
We should definitely keep them up though,
yeah,
on a
absolutely.
route, on like a schedule, so more people will be known.
Absolutely. I think that would be a good idea. We'll get together offline and get a date or time frame and everything
We'll set it up.
set up and just make it kind of a normal thing and just kind of have a hangout. Just
I'm in.
what we did today. I mean, really.
Worked. Yeah, I had a good time tonight.
But talk to you guys and
Yeah. We met some great people.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely. So
Well, good.
until next time, guys. Happy printing.
Yes. Good luck with the endo.
Have a good night, guys.
See you later.